everybody. If you don't know me, my name is Ian DPM. I'll give you 3 guesses what that stands for. And I basically put this video together at the request of quite a few people who've been asking what labels am I following, what records am I buying, what am I getting off Discogs. Basically just put together a bag of favourite stuff I picked up recently, whether that's second hand, bought online or in record shops, or new stuff. Just a warning, I'm not going to start vlogging or doing best burger and fashion tips or top 10 ways to jazz up your white labels. I literally just put this together to kind of give people an insight into what's in my record bag at the moment. A lot of people have been asking me, who are you listening to, what do you follow, etc, etc, so I thought I'd just give everyone a little peek. Alright, so first up we've got an artist slash group of artists that I found on Discogs the other day, and they are called the Black Science Orchestra. It's a 3-piece group. They are around sort of early 90s to late 90s, early 2000s, and they make deep soulful house. A group from the UK, headed by Ashley Beadle, who used to be in Express 2. Alright, the first record we've got here is Ladyland, and this is a 3-track EP, but it is basically the same track, all 3 tracks. It's a nice, smooth, soulful, deep house track, nice repeating vocal on the top of it. There's 3 versions of it on this record. There's the original mix basically, then we've got an instrumental mix, and then we've got a slow mix as well, in case it's down tempo, after party sort of vibes. It's all real nice soulful house on this one. And then we've got Sunshine, Heller and Farley mix, like I said before, which is a real nice, euphoric, end of the night, deep soulful house song, uplifting vocals, beautiful chords, 9 minutes long, perfect for ending sets with. That's why I bought these 2. Alright, next up we've got a label that I'm enjoying at the moment, and that label is Belters. If you've not heard of Belters before, they're a sub-label of Huntley's and Palmer's coming out of Glasgow. They deal with sort of left field house and techno, the main label, so they've had releases from Sophie, Auntie Flo, Lena Willikin and stuff like that, real out of the box dance floor music. We've also got another sub-label called High Life, which is more African based dance floor music, so they've had releases from Kane, Auntie Flo, Tanzania Sound System, a lot of great stuff. They're definitely worth checking out too. Anyway, then back to Belters. They've had 2 releases so far, which are these 2. Yeah, just so I don't get confused. I've got the first release here, which is my favourite one so far. This is by a guy called Wrong Steps. He's a young Berlin producer, and he's making raw, off-kilter house stuff that still works really well on the dance floor. Sort of lo-fi vibes, but not quite lo-fi, if you get what I mean. And then we've got number 2, which is by a Glasgow duo called High and Saberhagen, which is more sort of ambient, techno sort of stuff. It still works on the dance floor, but it's quite sparse, it's quite airy, it's still really nice. We've got one more release lined up, which is Belters 003, and that's going to be by Inner Shades. If you've not heard of him, he's a Belgian producer. He's making quite lush analog sound in house, so a lot of thick pads, squelchy bass lines and synths, still hard hitting drums, so I'm excited for that one. I think that's coming out at the beginning of May. I'm going to stick to Glasgow. I'm just going to pick 2 artists that I wanted to recommend that always have a place in my bag and in my sets, and that is General Ludd. They've had releases on 10,000 Yen and on Mr. Saturday Night for the more disco-y, housey sort of stuff, but what I like about them is their sort of percussion and drum machine workout tracks. We've got 2 records here which really highlight that. So we've got Rad Lod one, which is Rubber Dub, General Ludd, and then we've got White Ghost, which came out on Fragrant Harbour a couple of days ago actually. And both of these really strong, good percussive tracks. You can use them either as tools in the middle of a set, or you can use them as weapons. You can drop these in and they'll get the crowd going. Really strong percussion, not the most intricate, but it's always got really strong groove and they're always really hard hitting, so they're definitely worth checking out. Alright, I've got some more bits I picked up off Discogs from another label, which is called Riviera. Riviera isn't around anymore, but it was a French label coming out of Marseille, and they specialised in upbeat Chicago style, you know, the raucous 125 up sort of house. They also had quite a focus on disco and soul samples in their records, so it is quite, you know, upbeat, peak time, thumping Chicago house. At the same time, it's got some nice samples in there, so it's a really nice juxtaposition, getting in this thumping drums, you know, getting the room going, and then you've still got these nice little soulful vibes and vocals in there. The two records that I've got from them, I've got Paul Johnson, Hit It Up, and we've got Stacey Kidd, Chicago Life. We're going back to modern times now. We've got these two releases from a label called 69K, and these are both from an artist called Ortella. If you've not heard of Ortella, he is a deep house producer from France. He's making real thumpy, deep, chunky house, sort of like, you know, My Love Is Underground, Rootless Records sort of stuff. He's actually released on. He's got these two records here, which are on his label called 69K, and he's got another one coming out beginning of May, I think. Definitely worth checking out. Real nice, down tempo, heads down house. There's another label that I'm quite excited about. This is only their first release, but this is West Friends. This release here is called Bell Everywhere. It's by Medlar and Ishmael, and again, it's a lot of, you know, off-kilter percussion, a little bit left field, but still quite housey, still fits into a set perfectly. West Friends is basically the record label imprint of Rye Wax, the record shop in London. This is their first release, but they've got another one coming out this week by FYI Chris, who you should check out as well. They've had releases with Banoffee Pies. They've just done a release with Rhythm Section, and they're doing quite dusty, sampled house, which still sounds really good on the dance floor. So give them a check out. They've got a release coming out on West Friends this week that's definitely worth buying too. Quite excited about that label. And then I've just got a load of stuff that I can't really keep out of my bag at the moment. My Liberation Unlimited, Double Dance Lover. There's 2 tracks on here. But the first track, the radio version, another euphoric end of festival, end of set track, just builds and builds. And there's a lovely, lovely build at 7 minutes. This came out on Studio Barnhouse. And then we've got another member of the Studio Barnhouse family. But this record actually came out on Trilogy Tapes. This is Bubba Stilts with Keep It Lit. If you've heard any of my sets in the past 6-7 months, you've probably heard a track off this record, because I can't stop playing them. The A-side, Keep It Lit, beautiful sample looping, percussion, simple but effective. No disco house track, absolutely great. And then you've got BB12 on the other side, which is a bit slower, smoother bass line. Sounds quite high-lifey at times, but another great track, definitely worth checking out. We've got another couple of Trilogy Tapes releases. We've got the Entendrila Transprism EP by Bass Clef, which is sort of a mix between techno and left field bass, UK sort of stuff. It's quite hard to explain. It's really, really nice, really, really interesting. It fits really well with a lot of other stuff. And we've got Samo DJ and 5. These are 2 Swedish producers. They're on Trilogy Tapes as well. And this is called the Drunkenstein EP. And this is more like down tempo, kind of weird, left of center house. These guys are from Sweden. They've had a few releases on Studio Barnhouse between them as well, so they're definitely worth checking out. Alright, so I've gone through everything in my bag that I could go through without giving away too many secret weapons that I haven't played yet. If you enjoyed it, give us a like, give me some feedback. Maybe if you want me to do another video on something else, give me a shout. But until then, cheers for listening.